Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for joining me here today for another Pick a Card reading. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome in. My name is Melissa, and the topic that we're going to be reading on today is who were you in a previous lifetime? So this idea came to me in a dream last night, and I'm feeling really excited to dig into this topic for all of you. What I'm going to be doing is doing some investigating into who you were in a past life, maybe what your job was, what role did you hold, what was your general life like, what were some trials or tribulations you went through, what were some of the things that you were working on or the lessons that you learned in this previous lifetime. So keep in mind, you all, that this reading will be general in nature. So there will be some messages that resonate very specifically to you while others may not. So just take what resonates with you, leave behind anything that doesn't. And for any of you that have already done any sort of like past life regressions or past life work, I would definitely love to hear from you in the comments on how some of the themes that I'm uncovering here resonate with you. So let's get into this self-exploration reading. I'm going to be working with 4 decks today. So starting here on the left, we have deck 1 with some amethyst. We have deck number 2. This is I think this is blue apatite. Deck number 3, we have some peach moonstone. And then for deck number 4, we have some pyrite. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Think about who you were in a previous lifetime. What was your life like? What lessons did you learn? Go ahead and select the deck or crystal that you're feeling the most intuitively connected to. Really try to pick with your intuition versus your eyesight. And whenever you're ready and you've made your selection, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will allow you to skip ahead to your reading. See you there. Hey there, group 1. If you all selected the amethyst with the Pre-Raphaelite tarot, this will be your reading all about who you were in a previous lifetime. So I want to start off by shuffling some tarot cards on camera, and then we'll get into all of your pre-shuffled oracle cards. So let's just go ahead and see what comes through. Now, you guys did select this Pre-Raphaelite tarot, so in terms of like the time frame or the place where you would have lived, this time period could be of significance for you. Doesn't necessarily have to be, though. Let's just kind of see what comes through. So who was pile 1 in a previous lifetime? What was their life like? What did they do? Let's see what Spirit wants us to highlight for you, group 1. All right. So we start off with the 9 of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and we have the 8 of Cups. Bottom deck energy, we have the World. Wow. So with the World coming through, I definitely feel like in this particular lifetime that's being highlighted here, you guys closed out or completed like a major cycle. You learned like a major lesson. Your soul and your spirit really like leveled itself up through whatever you went through in this lifetime. I'm going to set this off to the side for a minute. You guys have a lot of the Pentacles cards here. So I definitely think that a major theme that you all worked through in this previous lifetime had to do with money, finances, comforts. I feel like you guys were in this position of probably being pretty well off, because the 9 of Pentacles talks about somebody that, you know, they've put in a lot of work to achieve a certain status in life where they have sort of all the comforts and the things that they need to be comfortable. You can enjoy the finer luxuries in life, the finer things in life. So I feel like a lot of you were very wealthy or had achieved some sort of like status in society where people knew who you were. And with the Page of Pentacles, you guys may have also had a child, because pages can typically talk about children. But it's interesting that I'm almost getting like single mom vibes for some. Like because I'm not really seeing like a partner being highlighted here for you. So for some of you, you may have been a single parent or raised a child on your own. For others of you, the Page of Pentacles can be referring to like, you guys were very like curious in a previous lifetime. You explored a lot of different things. This also can talk about education and higher learning. So I could see that maybe you guys were kind of in this comfortable, well-off space and you were able to kind of pursue more knowledge for yourself or studies, or like I'm thinking of like learning languages and things like that. I definitely think you guys were very royal, because I'm just being drawn to how this woman has the purple on. And purple is a very royal color, and it's also a color that talks about sovereignty and independence. So yeah, you guys spent a lot of time just like being independent in this lifetime. And I feel like the reason why is because maybe there was something in your life, like the norm of your life, whenever you were born into it, maybe this was a life that felt kind of not as fulfilling to you. Maybe partnerships or relationships weren't something that felt fulfilling. And so the Eight of Cups typically talks about us needing to go on our own path, needing to go on our own journey to explore things that we personally find fulfilling. So like maybe some of you all left home, some of you all maybe went like physically away from what was comfortable for you at some point during your life. And maybe you didn't leave forever, but maybe this was like just something you did temporarily to seek fulfillment for yourself. So interesting opening energy. Let's pull some more cards for you from the archetypes. Okay, so we have the Judge. Interesting. We have the Beggar. Huh. Okay, let's dive in. So it's interesting that you guys had the Beggar coming up, because I was really getting that you all were very affluent, but I don't think that this Beggar is talking about you guys being physically or like physically poor or anything like that. If we look at the shadow side of this card, this talks about dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. We talked about how this Nine of Pentacles was a very independent energy. So perhaps this was a lesson that you all had to learn during this lifetime. You had to put in the work to become this independent person that was able to really be self-sufficient and stand on your own without having to be overly dependent on other people to support you, right? Like you really had to learn in this lifetime and put the work in on how to get here. I don't think that it just came overnight to you, you know, because this card really talks about needing to be self-empowered and having like working on your self-esteem. And this coming up here tells me that you all were able to work through that. We also have the Judge. So this is about balance. This talks about the fair distribution of power. So I think that this may have been some sort of like a karmic thing that you all worked through, because judges, the scales, justice, this typically talks about karma, evening out the scales. So maybe, I feel like this was probably like your big lesson that you all had to learn. Now from like an occupational perspective, maybe some of you out there were in like the legal field or working in law, or maybe you did some sort of work in your community or the area where you were living to bring in justice. This talks about the fair distribution of power. And it's interesting because even though you guys were very affluent, it doesn't feel excessive here. You know what I mean? Like maybe you all were very generous. Maybe you guys were kind of like aware of how much money you made in relation to others. And so there's this energy of wanting to make sure that it's balanced. Like maybe you gave back in some sort of way. Let's see. We have the Storyteller. I am the narrator of my life. Yes, you guys. So this theme of like independence and being in your power is coming through super strong. I feel like this was the major lesson that you all had to learn, was this independence lesson, This is also the card of the throat chakra. So in this past life, you guys were really challenged to learn to not only step into your power, but to speak your truth and be your true authentic self. This could be why we have this Eight of Cups coming through here, because this is about needing to walk away from something. So I feel like you all really went on a journey to find yourself during this life and really had to work on building confidence in showing up being who you wanted to be. Maybe in this lifetime, you know, it may have been frowned upon to have this level of independence, depending on when that is. Maybe especially if you were a feminine during a lifetime like this, if this pre-Raphaelite, you know, energy resonates with you, like maybe this was a time period where women, it was like frowned upon for you to be like independent and single and things like that. So you guys just really wanted to, like, that's what ends up resonating with you, right? So you had to work on being confident with that. And excuse me. Interesting how the second I'm talking about the throat chakra, my throat closes up. So maybe this was something that was really hard for y'all to do. It took some time to get there. It would be interesting to hear from you if in this current lifetime you guys still have challenges with the throat chakra in speaking your truth and living as your authentic self, or if you feel like this is something you've healed. But this is also about creating the life for yourself that you truly desire as well. So speaking your truth, but then living it, walking the walk. We also have the Maya, the ancient grandmother, the teacher. We talked about learning here. I am the teacher that leads with self-knowledge. Yes, so we were talking about this Page of Pentacles, you know, being about higher learning, education. And so I definitely can see here that you all, you know, you are self-taught in some ways. You know, that's what this card, the ancient grandmother, talks about. I feel like a lot of you guys could have also been guides for other people, or sort of like maybe an elder in your community at some point, or someone that people really looked up to for wisdom. Maybe you were actually a teacher in a previous lifetime. We did have that the children card coming in as well. But this is really talking about you all having sought out, you know, through your own self-discovery and exploration, the knowledge and the wisdom that you needed to create the life you wanted for yourself. And now it's like other people coming to you for that additional support and advice for themselves too. Okay, let's continue. We have a few more cards. Excuse me, guys. We have compassion. Archangel Zadkiel, soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. So maybe you all had to really learn to be gentle with yourselves on this journey that you were on, and to really learn to exercise compassion and understanding. We have spiritual understanding. I'm bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truth. So I think in this previous lifetime, you guys definitely had some sort of a major spiritual awakening, where you became aware of the certain things that you needed to work on to help to help elevate yourselves. Maybe this is what this Eight of Cups journey was about, like kind of going away from the material realm and moving on to a place, or journeying to a place where you were able to work on opening up your third eye, where you were able to like pick up on the signs and symbols that the universe was trying to give to you during this time around the areas that you needed to elevate yourself. Closing it out, we have fire element coming in, which is amazing energy. So I definitely think in this previous lifetime, you guys had a very fiery or passionate personality. I definitely feel like this was a lifetime where you went after your passions. You went after, you know, things that you really enjoyed doing, things that really sparked or ignited you. There was definitely a lot of passion here in this lifetime, and a lot of energy of just getting things done, being motivated, being creative, being inspirational to others as well. So this is really cool. I would love to hear from you, Pile 1, in the comments, how this message resonated with you. If you made it till the end, thank you for viewing this video today. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hey there, pile 2. If you all selected this beautiful turquoise stone, you also selected the Mermaid Tarot, then let's go ahead and get into your reading and see who you were in a previous lifetime. So I'm going to start off by shuffling this tarot deck on camera. And let's just kind of get some details and information about your life. What was it like? Who were you? What were the lessons you learned? Just like whatever wants to come through. And then we're going to partner with some of my oracle cards to get some deeper insight here. So for pile 2, who were they in a previous lifetime? What do they need to, ooh, okay, hold up. So we're going to start off with the Lover's card. That one felt like it wanted to show itself. Okay, we've got the Queen of Swords and we have the Tower card. Bottom deck energy, Justice. So there was definitely something that had to be balanced out in a previous lifetime, some karma that you all had to work through, something where like we needed to even out the scales here. I'm going to set this off to the side for a moment here. So in a previous lifetime, what was your deal, pile 2? Let's see. I definitely feel like with this Queen of Swords coming through that you all could have been some sort of respected figure in your community. It could have literally been a queen of some sort. Maybe you guys were royalty in a place in the past. I actually feel like you were, because even when I'm looking here at this card, you can see in the background, there's a castle here. You see that? I wonder if it kind of was a situation where you all really had to decide who you wanted to be and how you wanted to show up. You know, I'm getting in this vibe of like maybe this queen energy was sort of like destined for you or passed down to you, like you would have been next in line. But with the Lover's card, this is a really cool Lover's card because it's more about you as a person. Like, it's like you're looking in the mirror and you are this way and you could be this royalty, but it's like there was a need in your life to really decide if this was the right path for you or if this was what was truly in alignment with your soul and your spirit. I definitely feel like you guys had a duality to your personality as well. Like some of you viewing this could be Geminis. You could be air signs of some sort. There's a lot of air energy coming through here with the Lover's card and the Queen of Swords. But it definitely feels like you guys had a duality to your life and to your personality where maybe you had this sort of royal side to you or this side to you that had to show up very like polished and professional and in power. But I feel like there was this other sort of like dreamy fantasy sort of side to your personality. Like the Mermaid there, where you were maybe more fun or had like a creative side to you or just wanted to be something a little bit different. Yeah. Now with the Tower card coming through, this tells me that in a previous lifetime, you guys went through something kind of traumatic. Like you went through a situation that was like divine intervention from spirit. And I do feel like it could have to do with this sort of duality, this sort of choice or decision that you all had to make. This is telling me that something in your life was built on a false foundation and it all came like crashing down around you. So maybe some of you had to like go through a period of rebuilding or go through a period of healing in a previous lifetime from whatever this disastrous energy was. And you came out of it on the other side feeling a lot more wise, smart, logical, but maybe a little bit cold, you know, because the Queen of Swords, like if we take a look at this card, there's a lot of cold energy around her. There's snow around her. She's got icy hair, you know, icy, just like demeanor. And so it's almost like this catastrophe that happened to you was like, it kind of cooled your heart. if you will. It made you a lot more discerning. It made you a lot wiser on the positive side, but there's definitely more of like this, like the heart energy is not coming through, if you guys get what I mean. So let's continue. I'm going to pull some oracles and see what else we can get. So we have the Mentor card. Interesting. This makes a lot of sense with that Queen of Swords coming through, you know, that you all would be a mentor, because this is a wisdom card. This is very wise energy. So this would definitely be the type of person that would be a great mentor, because you guys went through a lot. Like whatever you went through, it caused you to become more experienced in life. It helped you to become wiser, smarter. And so it makes sense that you all would have been mentoring others or been some sort of respected figure, like I was mentioning earlier, for others in the community. Look at this. We also have the King. Enlightened, benevolent leadership benefiting those in your charge. Excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. Yeah, so there was definitely some sort of royal energy where you guys were like a king or a queen. There was some sort of like major responsibility that you guys had in your community, wherever you lived. I wonder, I'm just speculating here, but you know, there's like duality here to this card, just like there's duality to the Lovers that we were talking about. And it's like, I'm wondering if this Tower moment that you all had to go through, I wonder if when you guys maybe stepped into your power or stepped into your position, you were living in the shadow side of the King, right? Like kind of these feelings of entitlement, maybe tyrannical for some of you, which happens with leaders, you know, we're not perfect. And so whenever it came crashing down to you, maybe you guys realized that, you know, benevolence is going to get you a lot further than tyranny. Let's see. Or maybe some of you guys had to come in and like, maybe you were the Tower moment for a community, in a sense of like, you dismantled a tyrannical or bad environment for your people. Okay, let's continue. So we have the Inner Temple, life lessons. I go within my shadow for deep spiritual growth. Yeah, there was definitely some shadow work that you guys had to do in this previous lifetime in order for you to acquire the wisdom that you acquired by the ending of it. And this Tower moment, like I was saying, it was a divine intervention that really forced you to go within and confront your shadow. It's interesting too, because this card is also associated with the heart chakra. You can see like all of the green candles around her. And so it's like, remember how I was saying the Queen of Swords is like more mental energy? So I definitely think that there was some healing around your heart chakra that had to happen as a result of this Tower. Okay, we have the Temple, home. I no longer search outside of myself for home. Wow. So you guys really had to learn like to be happy with who you were as the situation was, instead of trying to seek elsewhere. You know, it's interesting because if you think of the story of the Little Mermaid, you guys picked the Mermaid's Tarot. This is all about like her just wanting to find something better. Like it's like the grass is greener on the other side, right? And she goes through all this drama instead of just being grateful and comfortable with who she was, where she was, and what she had, right? So I wonder if this is what was the Tower moment for you, is coming to this realization that like you're not going to get validation from the outside or from who you are or where, like you're not going to get that validation from others or certain positions, right? Like it's about finding home within you. No matter where you go, you can't hide from who you really are inside. So even if you guys moved around or, you know, tried to be someone else in a way, like this need to be happy with who you were followed you. This card is also associated with the throat chakra. So this is also about being able to like stand in your power, speak your truth, be your true authentic self. So I definitely feel like this was something that was being highlighted for you as well. Pile 2. Sorry, I keep moving these cards around. Okay, let's just get a few more. We're almost done. We have prioritize. Focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. Okay. So there could have been situations like where you had to take action, right? We have indigo and crystal children. You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. So going back to like that mentor energy, I feel like you all, and in this mentor card, they have a child with them. So maybe you guys worked with children in your life and you specifically helped to mentor children. The indigo children, like this typically talks about highly sensitive, empathetic, like empathic children. So there could have been like a spiritual element to the work that you were doing with children as well. Closing it out, we have Virgo. So this is interesting because this is making me think of this prioritizing energy. I definitely think there was something in your life where you all had to learn to get organized, to really eliminate chaos, right, with the Tower. Virgo energy is about organization. It's about our routines. It's about our health physically, right? So there could have been a major theme around that you guys had to work through in this previous lifetime as well. Interesting. So we're going to go ahead and close it out there for you, pile 2, but I'm definitely curious to hear how it resonated. So drop me a comment below and let me know. Thank you all so much for taking the time to view today's reading, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hey there, pile 3. If you selected the beautiful peach moonstone crystal, this is going to be your reading all about who were you in a previous lifetime. So I'm going to start off by shuffling some tarot cards on camera just to get some insight about who you were, what was your life like, what were any common themes you dealt with, and then we're going to partner with oracle cards to get some more information. So let's go ahead and see. So for my pile 3 viewers, who were they in a previous lifetime? What information do we need to know, please, Spirit? All right, so we start off with the 2 of staves. We have the 5 of coins. Interesting. One more. And then we have the 7 of coins. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. So I definitely feel that maybe some of you all, a major theme that you guys had to work on in this previous lifetime had to do with self-esteem, self-worth, self-love. I'm seeing that with your cards here, especially this 5 of Pentacles, but also with the Empress. Some of you all may have been like mothers in a previous lifetime, or very caring, very nurturing energies that I'm getting here. But the Empress card, this also talks about like self-worth and self-esteem and needing to be nurturing, but not give your power away. And what I'm seeing here is that in your past life, you all gave your power away. Okay, maybe some of you were very actually powerful, but you didn't necessarily recognize it, or you became susceptible to forces that were deceptive or depleting to your energy. You know, so the deck you guys selected, this is actually the Lord of the Rings tarot. This character here in the books is actually royalty. This is a king that ends up getting taken advantage of by dark forces. And sort of it changes their personality to this shell of who they formerly were. And I'm not saying this specific thing happened to you. Obviously, this is a fictional story, but I think spiritually, energetically, this goes back to that theme of you all needing to learn how to stand in your own power, to recognize your power, and not allow people or situations to kind of suck you dry and deplete you. Maybe some of you actually dealt with like things like depression in a previous lifetime, or low self-esteem, self-worth, things like that. I also think that like you have a lot of coins here, pentacles. So this is making me feel like you guys may have actually struggled with money in a previous lifetime, or money was a focus. The Five of Coins typically talks about being poor or having lost money. But I feel like you guys actually rebuilt it. Like I feel like you guys, even though you went through this period of maybe lack or not having, with the Seven of Pentacles, this is showing me that you were able to sort of pull yourself out of it and build, or at least begin the process of accumulating more wealth or stability for yourself. But I don't think that you guys necessarily achieved what you wanted. And also, like, this could be talking about like the energy of lack, and instead of actually lacking, right? Because remember, this person, you guys are showing up as royalty, especially too with this Empress. Like you guys are showing up as royalty, as like having the things that you need physically or financially. But there's like this energy here of lack that you guys were working through with the Five of Pentacles, not feeling good enough, not feeling, with the Seven of Coins, like you have enough, feeling impatient about how fast wealth is accumulating. Wondering if this followed you guys over into this lifetime as well. For some of you. We also have the Two of Staves here, the Two of Wands. And this card typically talks about like exploration. It talks about expansion. It talks about like sort of like stepping a toe outside of the comfort zone, but not fully going all the way yet, because we're still trying to decide what we want to do. So there was also sort of like this indecisiveness that I feel like you guys had to work through in this previous lifetime around how to address your feelings and your situation. And this card is interesting too, because it's like our doorway is blocked. And it's almost like we have this crossroads here of good and evil. Again, going back to the theme of your deck, this staff represents a good wizard, whereas this staff represents an evil one, right? So I feel like you guys were at this sort of crossroads of like, do I succumb to these dark forces that are overtaking me, the depression or the person, the situation, whichever it was for you, or do I raise my vibration? So let's continue. This is really interesting. So from the archetypes, we have the femme fatale, highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected, inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. There was definitely a theme in your previous life, you guys, around money and power. And like I was saying, it's like kind of this energy of lack. Maybe you guys like used your femininity as a way to get money in a previous lifetime, or as a way to support yourself, but it was never truly fulfilling to you, is what I'm getting here. Yes, we have the Slave, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust, giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. You see, like, maybe some of you were like working in servitude in a previous lifetime, although this isn't really servitude. This is like another type of situation that's way worse, but like, yeah, I think that maybe this is where this energy of lack or depression is coming from, because it's like if you guys were like working for someone else, or you were literally in this type of a situation, it would be really hard to keep your energy and your vibration high. And it feels like there were times where you were able to kind of see the light and see progress, but I think that this energy of lack and oppression and like poor self-esteem and things like that, I think that it persisted throughout. This also talks about giving your willpower to an external authority, fear of making your own choices. So again, back to the Two of Staves with choices, like it does feel like in your situation, you could have maybe made choices that would have felt more empowering to you, would have maybe helped pull you out of the situation. But I think it was hard. I think your circumstances were hard, and I think that it was a struggle, maybe easier said than done to do it, even though the possibility of a new life was there. Ooh, this is intense. Okay, let's continue. So we have the Huntress. The Pleiades light my quest to be wild and free. We have the Enchanter. I wish upon a star and my dreams come true. Yeah, so I mean, in your heart of hearts, you all wanted something else for yourself. You wanted something different. You had big dreams. And this is sad because I just don't 100% know if you all were able to realize them in this previous life. We also have the Huntress. So there was this deep inner desire to be free of your circumstances, right? Like, you had this like fire within you. You had this side of you that was confident and that wanted to free yourself from your situation. And with the Seven of Coins, like, I do feel like there was some progress that was made. I just don't know if you all ever felt like you were totally free from it. Let's see, let's continue. We have All Is Well. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, with hidden blessings you will soon understand. So I do feel like a major lesson of your previous lifetime that's being highlighted here, pile 3, was about like seeing the positive in your situation, focusing on gratitude. Remember, like how we were talking about, there's this energy of feeling like you don't have enough. I think you all had to focus on being grateful for what you had, even if it wasn't a lot. Let's see. And we also have peace. Peace comes from remembering that only love is real. So I definitely think that you were able to find peace with your situation. And maybe that came through, like the card says, through love, like maybe through your relationships, through your community, through self-love, you know, because again, like the Five of Pentacles and the Empress card do speak of self-love. So it's making me think that like, sorry guys, excuse me. Yeah, it's making me think that once you guys were able to love yourself for who you were and kind of come out of this energy of lack, it feels like you were able to find that peace that you needed. We also have the Taurus card. So this card talks about like our comforts in life. It talks about financial stability. It talks about not only financial stability, but like the extra things that we like to keep around to make ourselves feel comfortable. And so I definitely think that this was something that you guys were chasing during this previous lifetime, like where, you know, maybe you had made progress, but maybe you never quite felt like it was enough for you to feel like you were comfortable and have all of the things that you would have liked to have had, if that makes sense. Ooh, so this was interesting, pile number 3. I would definitely like to hear from you in the comments how it resonated. What are your thoughts? Definitely feels like you guys had like some intense themes in your previous life. So would love to hear your feedback. Thank you if you made it till the end. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Hey there, pile 4. If you selected the pyrite, this is going to be your reading all about who were you in a previous lifetime. So I'm going to set these oracles aside and we're going to start by shuffling on camera. And let's just kind of see, like, who were you? What themes did you have to deal with? Like, what was your life like? Just anything that we need to know. You also did select the Tarot Nefertari. This is an Egyptian themed deck. So this could be a time period or a place that is important to you for your previous lifetime. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but could be. So let's see, for pile 4, who are they in a previous life? What do we need to know about their life, their lessons, etc.? Pile 4. All right, so we have the 7 of Swords. We have the 2 of Wands. And we have the 9 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers card. I definitely think that you guys were in a relationship in a previous lifetime. with the with the Lovers card. But, you know, the Lovers card also talks about choices and decisions. So for some of you, I almost wonder if you were like, I don't know if there was like an arranged marriage situation here. I have no idea why that's coming to me, but like, it definitely feels like there was some sort of like relationship in your life, but also some sort of choice or decision that you had to make about this relationship or just about your life in general. I feel like you guys were definitely well off in a previous lifetime with that Nine of Pentacles, but also very grateful. Like, I'm getting a lot of like expressions of gratitude. I'm getting a lot of spiritual energy coming through as well. You know, just the way that like this figure in the card has their palms open and ready to receive. Same thing here with the eagle or the hawk. It's like, I think that you all were very attuned to your feminine energy, the energy of reception, receiving. It's almost like you guys were just like so open and abundant, like open to the universe, open to blessings, that your manifestations just came to you with ease. Maybe you guys really mastered law of attraction in a previous lifetime, things like that. But yeah, you were very well off with this Nine of Pentacles. This is showing me comfort. This is showing me financial stability, security, like having all the luxuries you need in life, the needs met and the luxuries, right? Like to be able to enjoy, but also continuously receiving. I also see that you guys were very independent in a previous lifetime as well with this Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords too, and even the Two of Wands. Like, I feel like you guys really, and maybe this is where this like choice or decision is coming in about relationships, because I definitely see that the focus that's being highlighted here is around your own independence. Seven of Swords, this is telling me that you guys were very like, again, like self-focused, like focused on moving in silence, doing the things that feel good to you. But I definitely feel like you all did this, you made like wise decisions. Like maybe moving in silence during this lifetime was something that was really wise to do, was really smart to do, savvy, things like that. Because maybe you're in a situation where like you couldn't necessarily tell people everything that you were planning to do. So you kind of did it in secret. And the Two of Wands talks about exploration. It talks about pursuing new things, broadening your horizons. I almost feel like maybe you guys really like to travel. Maybe you moved around a lot. Maybe this wasn't a situation where you were like super stable and just like stayed in one place. Maybe you were kind of nomadic in a sense where you like to move around a lot. So let's continue. I want to see what else comes through. Ooh. So we have the Mediator. Interesting. So I think you guys were really good with people. Like, good at negotiating, but also, like, for some reason, I'm really being drawn to the shadow attribute of the Mediator, because we do have the Seven of Swords, like, so I think that you guys were able to sort of, like, get your way and do things through, like, maybe when you were in certain negotiations or communications with people, it's like you knew how to get what you wanted from them. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Like maybe you were in a situation where you had to be very strategic like that to be safe. You know what I mean? Depending on where you were. We also have the Storyteller. Yes. So this definitely makes sense. Like I was getting a lot of this like spiritual energy coming through. I could see you guys being like this person that's like really respected in your community, or someone that like people would go to hear like stories of the past or stories about your life, especially if you guys were very well traveled, right? Like people would come to you to understand more about your life and the wisdom that you held. I definitely think people regarded you really highly in this past life with that. Like they definitely saw you as someone that was very wise, that had a lot of experience under their belt, things like that. Okay, let's continue. Ooh, The morning star of radiance. I shoot for the stars. Radiance is my birthright. This is very like warrior energy. So maybe you guys were warriors of some sort. Maybe you were at war. But this is also like that very independent energy. This is sacral chakra that's being highlighted here. So this is about going after your passions. This is about like striving to be more, going after your goals. This really makes sense with that Two of Wands coming through. And again, the Seven of Swords, it's like you guys were just really focused on yourselves in this previous life of like going after the things that you desire. This talks about radiance is my birthright. So maybe there was something that you guys were chasing after in this previous lifetime that was your birthright, that was something that was supposed to be yours, and you had to be really strategic and savvy to get it. Maybe somebody took it from you, right? Ooh, we also have the Diamond Star of Destiny. I focus on service and follow my higher purpose. Yes. You guys, you know, it's really interesting, again, with that mediator energy. There was something that you all were doing to help people in this previous life as well. So it's like, even though there was this like strategic, self-focused kind of vibe, I also feel like there was this energy of like service to others, like helping others through conflict, helping others through bad situations. And this was sort of like your higher calling in life. Again, this is the crown chakra being highlighted here. So maybe you guys were like spiritual advisors or someone that people would go to for spiritual guidance in your community as well. But you guys definitely lived in your purpose. And again, I think this is going back to this Lover's card. You know, there could have been a choice that you all had to make between a relationship and like traditional like romance and settling down versus being able to do what you wanted to do for yourself. We have You Are Safe, Archangel Michael. I'm protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and home. So yeah, it definitely feels like there was something that you all had to protect yourselves from in this previous lifetime. You know, like I was saying, the Seven of Swords moving in silence, it doesn't have to mean that you are a bad person or shady. It could just be that you guys weren't in a safe environment, right? So protection is really being highlighted here in this previous lifetime as well. Your loved ones, and your home. So maybe there was danger to your community. We also have moon cycles. Notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize on these cycles. Yeah, like you guys mastered the art of manifestation in this previous lifetime. You understood how to manipulate the energies of the universe to call in and manifest the things that you desired. And look at this too, you guys, like how the hands are open in this card as well. So it's like you were just a magnet for manifestation. You were a magnet for abundance and getting the things you wanted. And finally, we have Aries energy. Definitely that very independent energy. So you guys, I mean, for sure, super independent. But Aries also talks about going after your passions. It goes, and it's also kind of like this card of being self-focused too, right? More focused on the self, more focused on the things that bring you joy, self-protection, self-preservation. Aries is also giving me like this warrior energy as well. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys were like at war or in some sort of like a combative situation. So you really had to be strong and fight. So I think I'm going to go ahead and close it out there for you, Group 4, but definitely let me know how it resonated. I'm curious to hear what you think. Thank you all so much for taking the time to view this reading today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.